Hey guys, Scare9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and this is going to be a very important video for a lot of you guys, I feel like. I have done, over the past week, a ton of Solstice of Heroes. I have managed to get all three completely masterworked legendary sets on each of my characters. I have the ship, I have done pretty much completely everything, and so I thought what would be very important and very helpful is for me to share everything I have learned with you guys, and make sure that most of you, if not all of you, are able to at least get to the legendary set, if not able to complete the full Masterwork sets on as many characters as you see fit. Now, this is a grind. I'm warning you right now, per character, this will probably take around 6 to 10 hours. It takes a very long time, especially if you're not super efficient with it. Make sure if you are doing this stuff solo, you need to get yourself in the right mindset to do this, because if you're just sitting there staring at a screen for 6 hours trying to do this solo, you're probably not going to be enjoying life very much. So make sure you are doing whatever you can in your power to make sure you enjoy it. Take breaks, play with friends, listen to music, watch videos while you do it. Something like that, just to make the grind a little bit more bearable. Now, we are going to start with the green armor, so obviously a lot of this is going to be a little bit more basic. So if you guys don't know, you generate elemental orbs that are required by these armor pieces by aligning your subclass and your elemental weapon types. So for example, if you're on a hunter and you need to generate arc orbs, it will be the most efficient to use Arc Strider with 2 arc weapons in your energy and power slot. My main recommendation for this is to do the specific type of orbs that you need to generate on Earth first. So if you'll look at your armor description, it will say, generate orbs. On one piece per class, it will say generate orbs while on Earth. So you're going to want to focus on that type of orb first while you are running through your Redux missions. For Hunter, that is Solar. For Titan, that is Void. And for Warlock, that is also Void. Once you have completed that orb requirement, so you're running through the first 3-ish missions that should take you to fulfill that requirement, then move on to the next one that is not in strikes. So you'll have kind of orbs that you need to generate in general, orbs that you need to generate in strikes, and orbs that you need to generate on Earth. Do the Earth ones first while doing your Redux missions. Whenever you complete that while still doing the Redux missions, go to the one that is not generated in strikes, complete that, and then whenever you finish the Redux missions, move on to your 10 heroic events and patrols, finish off the second orb generation, and then finally go into strikes to generate your final set of orbs. Now, in order to get the ones in strikes, you can run heroic strikes. However, I would personally recommend a couple of Nightfalls. In Nightfalls, the enemies are almost always predominantly orange bars, so that means you're going to be getting a very significant amount of orbs per kill. So if you just load into a Nightfall solo, you go through the beginning section, you kill everything, and then fly back into the Nightfall or die on purpose and respawn, you are going to be able to have a very, very efficient orb farm, and thus you will be able to get through your green armor more quickly. However, like I said, the Heroic Strike playlist will work just fine as well. Now, the most annoying challenge I am seeing a lot of people complain about is getting the 30 super kills in Crucible, and this is something you just have to grind for. I recommend using Arc Strider with Raid and Flux on Hunter. For Warlock, I would definitely recommend Dawnblade. It is insanely easy if you're good with Dawnblade. And then with Titan, you're pretty well off with Sunbreaker, or if you're good with Sentinel and the Doomfang Pauldrons, because that lasts for freaking ever, I would definitely recommend doing that if you are able to. You can also complete these in Mayhem for quicker results, but I've heard that it might require a couple more kills, maybe like 45 instead of 30, but of course you do get your super back every 20 seconds, so it definitely pays off. So that's just going to be a personal preference thing. Now, whenever you do all of that, that's pretty much the green armor. A lot of it is just being as efficient as possible. You need to make sure you are doing those Earth orbs while doing the Redux missions, then you can move on, and just being that efficient, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. Now, on the blue armor, once again, this is all about efficiency, but even more so than the green set. Once again, I recommend starting off with the Redux missions, but while you are running through these missions again, you need to make sure you have the appropriate energy and power weapons equipped. So, for instance, a lot of the classes need solar power weapon kills, so while you are going through that, put on the Sleeper or the Whisper of the Worm or any solar power weapon, and just make sure you're getting kills for that while doing the mission. The same thing goes for energy weapons for your specific class. Each class has different types of challenges, so you just need to make sure you're reading through your armor, seeing what you need, and being efficient with that. In addition, I do recommend that you get your super kills out of the way very early on. For instance, for Warlock, you need to get a ton of arc super kills, so of course just run Stormcaller your entire way through all 5 of these missions, and you should have it done by the end. Grenade kills can be quickly done with the escalation protocol farm, so I would save that for last. It takes like 15 minutes even with everyone running escalation protocol. You just run in, you throw a grenade, kill a couple of thrall, fly to orbit, go back, and hopefully you will find yourself in an instance by yourself. But honestly, this does not take long at all. The melees are what is going to be the most difficult part. However, if you're on a Titan or Hunter, there is a very nice cheese for this. If you find yourself doing the blue armor set for Titan or Hunter, you can use a sword without ammo with the corresponding element to actually get your melee kills. So on Hunter, I think you need solar melee kills. Put on a solar sword, waste all of your ammo, and then just go whack a bunch of enemies, and these will count towards your 100 melee kills. However, if you are on Warlock, for some reason, this does not work. So I would just recommend trying to get this done while you are running through the rest of the challenges. Like I mentioned, you do have to run your arc super anyways, so that is going to be the best way to get your arc melees. And I would recommend having the perk running where you melee and it chains to nearby enemies. I believe it's bottom tree, but I could be wrong with that. And that just means that you are going to get like 2 kills if you ever punch a thrall. It'll bounce off to another one and get you 2 kills instead of 1. Do this while you are running through the missions and prioritize melee kills. If you see that you have a melee charge, get an enemy weak whenever you can, punch him to death. This is going to be the hardest challenge on the blue set, so you need to make sure you are trying to get that done as quickly as possible. Once again, my main tip is to be efficient. You can go for your energy weapons, power weapons, and super kills and super melees, all while completing the heroic strikes, adventures, and redux missions instead of doing it separately. So make sure you are focusing on those while running the missions, and it will save you a ton of time in the end. The main thing about this is that you need to be smart about which challenges you are completing and when. Now, the final tip for the blue armor set is for running your 10 adventures. I recommend doing 4 on Earth, 4 on Titan, and 2 on Nessus. That seems to be the quickest combination that I found. However, whatever you do, it is very important to note that the adventures on Mercury do not count towards this challenge, so do not waste your time with that. And now we can go ahead and move on to the last set, which is going to be upgrading the legendary set to the Masterwork set. While doing the Nightfall, you really just have to be smart about modifiers. You have to reach 110,000 points, which really isn't that difficult with a good team. With the 400 light level set that you currently have equipped, you have a huge light level advantage, meaning that you can automatically put a 10 to 15 power level deficit for free, and it won't really affect you negatively at all because you are already given those light levels free due to your armor. Another thing to keep in mind is the boss attacks and types of enemies found throughout the strike. For instance, this week is obviously the Will of Thousands Nightfall, so my team used 15 levels down, Solar Burn, Extinguish, Match Game, and Momentum, and we easily hit the point cap well within time. It is a fairly short strike, and it's not that difficult. However, if you do decide to run Match Game, obviously make sure your team has an energy weapon of all 3 energy types. Someone needs to have Arc, Void, and Solar, regardless of what burn you're using. Just be smart, take your time, and focus on killing absolutely everything. And now the final thing that I know you guys are probably going to have questions about is going to be the Prestige Leviathan raid. This one just takes a ton of practice. I actually just found out I never made guides for this, so I'm going to go ahead and link Dado's guides down in the description. They're very well done. I honestly can't believe I didn't make them. I always focus on doing that, and that really just blows my mind that I didn't hear. But make sure you watch Dado's guide at least once if you are not familiar with the mechanics, and then try to go into the raid. If you don't have a fire team, I recommend the 100.io. I will also have that linked down below in the description. On this website, you can find all sorts of people wanting to do the raid, and there's even a dedicated section of that player base that are referred to as Sherpas, which really just take people through their first time. So if you need help with this, definitely go explore that website, sign up, get a fire team, and go get yourself that Masterwork armor. Now to end out the video, I just wanted to address some of the individual questions. A few people were wondering how I got the green chroma. If you run a full set of the blue chroma and put on a yellow shader, it actually turns this really awesome green color. I'm running Callus's Treasured, but things like Bumblebee worked fine as well. In addition, there's a cool other combination. If you use purple and then use the Crimson Valor, it actually turns a really cool pink. So you can actually combine and match just to get some really unique colors. A few people also asked how to make soloing missions easier. For my final set, specifically for this, I actually went through and soloed each of the missions. And I don't really have any great tips. Take your time, be smart about it. It's obviously going to take longer if you decide to solo it, so if you have any friends online or you can, LFG a team or something, I would definitely recommend that. Other than that, make sure you are taking it slow, and I would personally recommend using the Whisper of the Worm for infinite ammo on destroying annoying bosses from far away, but at the end of the day, it's really up to you. you. And then my final tip has to do with those of you without a clan. Obviously, in order to complete 5 heroic strikes with clanmates, you're going to need an active clan. If you are not in an active clan, I will also have the Bungie recruitment form linked down below. You can find one on your respective platform. This will help immensely, not only with this challenge, but also with completing the Leviathan raid and doing things like running through the story missions. So if you don't have an active clan, I would highly recommend finding one. Once again, link down in the description. As you guys can see, a lot of this event is really you helping yourselves. Make sure you have an awesome clan. Make sure you have a lot of friends to play with, because at the end of the day, I could give you all the tips and tricks in the world, but that won't make it any easier for you to complete a raid if you don't have any friends. So make sure you go out and socialize. Destiny is huge on making friends and joining clans and stuff like that. That is a very fundamental part of the game. So make sure you get yourself involved and go do that. But yeah, that is going to be all of my tips. I'm sorry if the video was a little bit long. I wanted to make sure I covered absolutely everything. At the end of the day, just be as efficient as possible. Make sure you follow these tips and have a lot of fun. That is the main tip of this event, is just to have fun. That's what Solstice of Heroes is. It's a grind, but it should be a fun one. So let me know what you guys think about this event down in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. If you were interested in watching either of the 2 videos on screen, you can click at their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you are brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed for my awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today. And I will see you in my next video.